Hey, it's Friday, December 6th, 2019. Do my tshot this week. So I have a uptake syringe. And the tip is 18 gauge, and then injection is 25 gauge from Final. I have alcohol swabs. So I have a band-aid on my head. I've been working again lately, so my dog was excited to see me come home, and we get rough housing. He didn't really try to bite me, but he kind of dragged his open mouth across my forehead, which cut my skin because I'm a very thin skin, partly because it's very, very dry in my studio, and I don't have a humidifier anymore. I think I threw it out. It was super old, so, and it was secondhand, so I think I got rid of it, and I don't think they sold the filter cartridges for it anymore, so, and I haven't had a chance to get another one. So that's partly it, and partly with age. I found, actually that's an interesting topic, with taking testosterone. I take deletestrol. It comes in a bottle like this, and I take 0.5 cc once a week through an intramuscular injection, which I'm preparing now. If you don't want to see it, then I'll tell you when to click away. But yeah, let's talk about changes in skin. Before testosterone, I had, you probably wouldn't believe me now, you can see all the marks maybe. I have a lot of kind of holes in my cheeks around here, and before testosterone, you wouldn't even know that I had pores in my skin because it was so just perfect and flat and even. I never had a pimple or anything before testosterone. Like during my first puberty, I never had acne. I never had any issues. Maybe because I was pretty much an athlete throughout my high school years. Actually I hit puberty early, so it was before high school. I was very young, 8 or 9 years old, and it actually happened when I was away at summer camp, and that was a bad idea to go to that camp in general because it was a Christian summer camping thing, but all my school friends were going, and I got switched from public school to a Catholic school, which is a horrible idea that my parents had. They thought it'd be a better education, but I was actually like harassed quite a bit. But yeah, I got it at summer camp, and I told the camp counselor, and it was a very traumatic experience, and the staff, like a teenager I guess, was like in charge of our group, who I told, and she gave me like one maxi pad, and that was it for like 8 days or something. Like, so after like, and I just like bled through that maybe in an hour. Like, sorry if you don't want to hear about but yeah, I've had a lead up, so that should give you a fair notice that I'm talking about first puberty. But yeah, it was really traumatic, and like all my clothing, all my shorts were white, and so I was like forced to like take wads of toilet paper and just like roll it around my finger and like use that instead of maxi pads because the staff wouldn't give me any. Like, it was really ridiculous. Like, how it's traumatic enough, like, experiencing that for the first time and then being a trans guy on top of it, and then no one helping you, like helping a little kid, like give them some fucking give them some pads, you know, like what the hell? But we're talking about skin, so skin wise, like I never had a pimple or anything, and I guess you're in high school at 14. I actually was overweight at that time, 8 and 9 years old. And then high school, I started with track and field and playing basketball, and then I switched to a rowing team, and then I did that. Even though I only took one phys ed class throughout my whole like high school experience, I was like, I worked my way up from an 8-man crew boat to a single scull, like double sculls, and then, well, it was like double with my friend Christine, who I want to get in contact with actually. Like, she was a really nice person, and like, just a good, like, we weren't even really friends, we didn't hang out outside of that, but like, just a really good co-athlete to be in a double sculls boat with, you know. And then I went on to single sculls after that, and I even tried out for we had Olympic team trials, which I tried out for because we were like winning everything. Yeah, and so yeah, I did that, and I think it just really cleansed my skin a lot, being like sweating a lot. And I noticed too when I work out more in a sweaty kind of way, like more aerobic exercise when I'm running all the time. And when I run, I try to sprint as much as I can. I do 4 or 5 sprints, and then that's my run, rather than a very slow like distance run. And I try to spend 30 to 40 minutes doing it. Sometimes it's like I'll start with 20 minutes, and you know, you just work your way up, and my skin gets better with that. But the testosterone, there was no way around I had cystic acne, and like I'd have like big welts. I remember having a really embarrassing one right here in my forehead, and I tried to wear a toque all day, but it was like really hot, and I was in school at the time, and at the university it was like super hot, and I couldn't like not, I was just like dripping sweat, so it's like, I have to take my toque off. And I was hanging out with somebody, and they were just like, why are you wearing a hat? And so I took it off, and I had this like fucking goiter of a fucking pimple right in my forehead. And actually right after that meeting, like I couldn't get it out, and right after the meeting it popped, and it was like a lot of bacteria. So I try to relieve the pressure as best I can with my acne and take care of it by actually using a sterile needle, and usually a very thin gauge, and trying to like if there's like a pus head, like pricking that and removing as much material as I could. But some of the more deeper gouges in my skin are because when my hair was coming in on my beard, there'd be multiple instances of where the hair would back curl inside of the skin, and on this side it felt like it was going to come through the inside of my cheek into my mouth. Like, it was so big in there, you know, and like a cyst around it, and I was poking it, trying to get this hair out, and I just didn't know what to do, and I tried all sorts of medications, and one doctor I saw, he's like, why are you on, I think it has Accutane, and because it just makes you sunburn more, and I'm actually prone to skin cancer because I'm so fair, I'm so white, and my dad's had it, so he's like, you shouldn't be, and I work outside. I've always had jobs where I work outside, even in film, I was on location all the time, so don't use acne medication is my recommendation if you are prone to sunburns, because I couldn't go out for like 10-15 minutes. I would be bright red, like no matter if I was wearing 100 sunblock, you know, like I always had a 45 like sun blocker lotion on, but the medication, whether it was a cream or a prescription, what it does is make you more skin sensitive so that your skin does peel and shed a layer. So my skin was peely, shedding layers of skin. I had cystic acne, and I was super oily from the testosterone. So, and there was nothing I could do about it. So I just, after the doctor told me about the sun sensitivity, I just stopped using that ointment on my skin, and that actually kind of helps. And I just, into the usual thing, moisturize, and I think I would started using like echinacea in a hot towel with water, and just rested that on my skin to kind of help relax the tension of it. But there was nothing I could do, and like even on this side, there's a point that's not as noticeable that I felt a lot of pressure inside the skin, and saw a bit of where the hair was, but it came up to the skin and looped back in. So I was able to like, with a tip of a needle, like grab onto that and start to like drag it out, and there's actually like 5 different hairs inside of that. So that's something that might happen to you, and I have really no advice. I'm still dealing with it. Not the cystic acne, but the damage it's caused my skin. I'm trying out microdermaneedles now there's like a roller system, and I'm going to try to do that more regularly, but it is really, again, very harsh on your skin because you're poking your skin a whole bunch of times with a bunch of needles. So I don't know what to recommend, and I still have like a buildup of stuff under the skin, like a thicker kind of acne, but and the best thing I found, I guess, is and I've been meaning to go to the gym to use an exercise machine because it's hard in winter to run just because the air is so dry and I have exercise-induced asthma. But to run and do aerobic exercise, and you don't have to do a lot, just to start sweating in your face, and that helps like flush out kind of the bacteria and buildup of stuff you can't really get to even with washing or using things like an abrasion pad or something on your skin. Won't flush out the pores, like the deep clogged pores, as exercise does, natural body exercise and sweating it out. Some people go to a sauna for that reason, so they can sweat out the stuff in their pores. But I find personally that makes me feel really lightheaded and nauseous, and I just don't like it. So, and I don't like being around other people like that who are like, I don't know, haven't been to see many, and one I've been inside of had that like stereotypical movie thing of people wearing a towel around their waist, or, I don't know, haven't been to see many, and one I've been inside of had that like stereotypical movie thing of people wearing a towel around their waist, or, I don't know, haven't been to see many, and one I've been inside of had that like stereotypical movie thing of people wearing a towel around their waist, or and that was it. Actually, they weren't even. I was wearing a bathing suit, but actually, I've been to one where other people were in bathing suits, but the one more recent, they were just people in towels, and I just don't feel comfortable being in a super hot room with other people. So, and another thing I have gone to in the past, which I might go to again, there's a body positive space time at a swimming pool that has like a hot tub, like a hot water pool with like jets and stuff. So I found that very relaxing to be in. It doesn't really make you sweat, but it's good for your skin, and it's relaxing for your muscles. So I find it helps with my back issues. But yeah, you might end up having a lot of acne, and I notice my skin is much thicker, and sorry, I just having a thing on my phone. Just gonna pause for a second. I burnt my pizza, so that's what my timer was. I left the bottle up there. Hold on. So yeah, that's about all I can recommend for helping your skin when you're on testosterone. But it will get thicker, it will get oily, it'll get acne, and you might get like multiple hairs stuck into each pore. As well, the hair will get thicker and darker and longer. That's my experience. It might be different depending on your biology and your background, but it's like they say, if you're look at the males in your family, and that's what your hair will probably look like. I look almost exactly like my dad, so yeah, I was hoping not to get the baldness, but I'm 43, so I trade this beard for a bit of hair loss any day, and it's not gone gray yet. And I know a lot of people younger than me have gray hair already, which I'd be fine with too. I've got some salt and pepper in here, but some hair loss, very thick beard. I've got a bit of chest hair. I'm getting hair on my upper shoulder, on my back, and my upper shoulder blades a little bit. Definitely lots of belly hair that I didn't have before. My leg hair is a lot longer and thicker, much darker. It's red like my beard almost. On my shins higher up, it's a kind of a calico. It's like parts of it are blonde, parts are black, like more towards my center. My belly hair is like black. So yeah, expect those changes. It's a lot tougher, like the skin of my arm. It's a lot harder to like get a cut or something. But when you do, it's a thicker skin, so it's like more skin is like opening up, so there might be more damage that way. I guess maybe I don't really know how skin works, so but it's definitely like more thick and more impenetrable in a way, except for certain places, like around my eyes here. It's way thinner, but like I attribute that to age, and around my forehead here, where my dog bit me, it's like it's a bit thinner. But and on my fingers, my hands here, it's a bit thinner, but you can see like I'm pretty wrinkly. Yeah, no. like an older guy, so it's gonna get a bit thinner there with age. And so next I'm gonna do my tshot. If you don't want to see that, click away now. And but give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want. And if you have any questions around hair growth and skin and age and stuff, I can try to answer that as best I can. Right? I also got like a lot of back knee towards the end of the really bad part of the cheek skin blemishes. But it's been consistently kind of like this since the second year, like 3 or 4 months in, it was like the worst ever. And about 1 year on T, it started chilling out and lessening, and 1.5 to 2 years, it was okay, but from that time frame till about 4 years is how long it took to get the full beard growth in. So that's when I was getting the ingrown hairs and stuff. So it just kind of changed a bit that way. And now I get the occasional ingrown hair, like if I'm shaving here, but I can feel a lump and I can like just gently squeeze it or something, or feel where the edge of the hair is trying to come in, and I can kind of grab it with my nail and it'll pull out more easily. But yeah, that's my experience. So next I'm going to do my tshot. It's 0.5 cc. It comes like this. I already put it into this syringe and change the tip to this one here. It's a 22 gauge. Yeah. Alright, so I'm going to do that now. And then you just kind of squeeze out. Make sure a little drop comes out on the end, so that you don't have any air in the plunger. And like look into here too to make sure there's no air bubbles. If there is, while it's in the bottle, like push the solution out and draw back when it's underneath the line of where the oil is in here. Okay. So next is a tshot. Don't forget to use your alcohol swabs to clean the area. And I'm just gonna lace it up. I don't know, I'm nervous to do it today, but I am. When I'm nervous too, that's it. I'm like, I don't know, sometimes I feel nervous about doing it, but when I get nervous, I just go ahead and do it. I don't, I used to take this syringe and go like this and get ready to do it, and if I feel any kind of vibration with being nervous, I just go ahead and do it right away, and then that takes care of that. I find that works in a lot of situations. Like if there's a girl you like and you want to ask them out, just go ahead and do it. Walk up to them and be like, "Hi, I'm Nick, and I don't know, what are you doing here? Do you like the music?" Or just say something. Whatever happens, happens. Just go and do it. And even if it's silly, then it's silly and it's fun, and it's you're funny, you're a fun guy or whatever. That's how you're just being yourself, so that's the best you can do, and you're always going to have to reveal being yourself at some point anyway, so just be yourself. Yeah. Have a great week. I'll see you next Friday. Bye for now.